So do you also use Zoom for your business? Then this video is definitely for you. So hello all, welcome back to Pabbly Connect, and in this video we are going to understand how to automatically add Zoom registrant details in Notion. So over here I'm running an edutech company and we use Zoom to regularly conduct our online workshops and webinars. So now what I want is that as soon as a new registration is created in any of my workshop or webinar, automatically with the help of the same registrant details, a new database item should be created in my Notion, which is automatically the details should be added in my Notion of all new registrants. So to do this, we are going to create a connection between Zoom and Notion. To create this connection without knowing any programming or coding language, we are going to use Pabbly Connect. It is an amazing automation software. So do you also wish to learn this process step by step? Then let me take you to my computer screen.
Welcome to my screen, everyone. So as you know that in this video we are going to understand how to automatically add Zoom registration details in Notion. So I'm running an edutech company where we regularly conduct online workshops and webinars for our student. To efficiently manage participation data, we want to set up this automation that automatically adds Zoom registration details in my Notion database so that we can follow up quickly and efficiently and also keep the details organized. But as you know that Zoom doesn't provide any native connection to add the details in Notion database. So in order to create a connection between both of these applications, we are going to use Pabbly Connect. It is an amazing automation software as I mentioned in my introduction. And in order to connect both of these applications, we have simply opened the landing page of Pabbly by searching pabbly.com/connect in my browser. It is very easy. So as soon as we're going to open the landing page of Pabbly, we're going to get two options. One is sign in and the other one is sign up for free. So if you're a new user, you can click on sign up for free and you're going to get 100 of hours free every month. But I'm an existing user, so I'm going to click on sign in right over here. And as soon as we're going to click on sign in, it is opening all Pabbly apps. Over here you can see all the tools and applications offered by Pabbly. But in today's video, we are going to use Pabbly Connect because we are connecting different applications, which is Zoom and Notion. So I'm going to click on access now right over here to access my Pabbly Connects account. And as soon as we're going to click on access now, it is opening my dashboard. And to start with this automation, we are going to click on this button which says create workflow. And now it is asking me the workflow name and the folder I want to save the workflow in. So with here I want to save the workflow in this folder which says automations, and I want to name my workflow as how to automatically add Zoom registration details in Notion, Zoom to Notion. And then we're going to click on create, and as soon as we're going to click on create, it is opening the most important window for automation, which is our workflow window. So this is the most important window because we have triggered an action, and this trigger means when this happens, and action means do this. So by this you can understand that the trigger is the commander for the workflow and actions follow the commands. And as you know that we can have only a single commander but multiple followers. So over here we can have only a single trigger but multiple actions following the commands of our trigger. And by this you can finally understand that the actions are response towards the commands given by our trigger. And in order to start with our automation, we have to select our trigger application. So for my trigger application, I'm going to select it as Zoom right over here. So I'm going to search for Zoom, and as you can see Zoom triggers, so we are going to select it. And now it is asking me for the trigger event. So basically trigger event is the event on which the workflow will start. So over here I'm going to select my trigger event as configure webhook, and then we're going to click on this button which says connect. And as soon as we are going to click on connect, it is asking me to add a new connection or select an existing connection. So if you have already connected your Zoom triggers account with your Pabbly's workflow, you can click on select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection, and now it is asking me for the token. And over here you can see that it is saying you can watch a tutorial video here to follow the steps below. So as you can see over here the steps by which we can get this token. And if you want to watch a detailed tutorial video on to get this token, you're going to click on this hyperlink given right over here. I'm going to follow these steps one by one to get this token. So it is saying log into your Zoom account, navigate to the left sidebar, admin, advanced, and then app marketplace. So we're going to follow the same. I'm going to open my Zoom account from the left side of the bar. We are going to move on towards the admin. You can see admin. Over here you can see advanced. We are going to go on this and then app marketplace. And as soon as we're going to open this app marketplace, right from here you can see develop and then build app. And as you can see journal app, so we have to go on this and click on create. And as soon as we're going to click on create, over here we are going to enter the name of the app. So let's suppose I'm going to keep the name as Notion integration right over here. And after entering this name, we are going to move on forward. Over here we are going to scroll a little, and as you can see client ID and client secret. Okay, we are going to scroll more. It is saying OAuth redirect URL. So over here we are going to enter a redirect URL which is this https://connect.pabbly.com/ callback dash URL. So here you're going to get this URL in the description box, so you don't have to worry. You can directly copy it right from there and paste it in your redirect URL. And after pasting this URL, we are going to move on forward. Over here you can see automatically the URL has been added right over here too. Okay, so I'm going to click on this continue button, and as soon as we're going to click on the continue button, you can see the secret token got right over here. So I'm going to copy the secret token and then we're going to paste it right over here in our workflow. And after pasting this token, we are going to click on save, and as soon as we're going to click on save, yes, you can see that we have successfully connected our Zoom Triggers account with our Pabbly's workflow. And now it is giving me a webhook URL. So over here we are going to copy this webhook URL. Once again, we are going to move on back to our app marketplace and we're going to scroll. And over here you can see event subscription, right? So I'm going to switch on this button, and as soon as we're going to switch on this button, it is saying add new event subscription. So I'm going to click on this. Again, we're going to move on forward right from here. It is saying choose a method. We are going to select it as webhook. It is saying subscription name, so I'm going to keep the subscription name as Pabbly Test. It is saying event, so I'm going to click on add events right over here, and then we're going to search for meeting right over here. And as you can see, meeting registration created, we are going to look for same, and as you can see, meeting registration has been created. We are going to select it and click on done. And as soon as we're going to click on done, yes, you can see a new event has been added. And now it is saying event notification endpoint URL. So we're going to paste the URL which we copied from our workflow right over here and then click on save. And as soon as we're going to click on save, yes, you can see that we have successfully added this event subscription. And now what we have to do is we have to click on this continue button, and now we don't have to add anything else, so directly we are going to click on this continue. And after coming on right over here, yes, you can see that we have successfully created a app right over here, and now I'm going to add that app in my Zoom account. For that, I'm going to click on add app now right over here, and as soon as I'm going to click on this, it is asking me for some permissions. So I'm going to give Pabbly all the permissions it is asking for because my data is secure with Pabbly. You can also click on allow. Pabbly is safe. And as soon as we're going to click on allow right over here, yes, you can see that with this we have successfully added this app. And after adding this app, we have successfully created a connection between our Zoom Triggers and our Pabbly's workflow. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to click on the save and send this request button, and as soon as we're going to click on the save and send this request button, it is saying waiting for response, and in the notes it is saying now you have clicked over the save and send test request button, then do a test submission / record in that application in order to capture the response here. So you have to capture this response, and for that we have to do a test submission or record in order to test our connection. Okay, so I'm going to open my Zoom account, and over here what we're going to do is I'm going to copy this meeting registration link. Okay, and then we're going to open this in a new tab and do a test submission. And after opening this link, what we're going to do is we are going to fill in the dummy details right over here and do the test submission. So for the first name, I'm going to keep it as demo. For the last name, we are going to keep it as user right over here. We're going to move on forward. For the email, I'm going to keep it as demo@pabblytunes.com. So I'm going to enter it right over here. We are going to move on forward towards the city. For the city, I'm going to keep it as Bhopal. It is saying phone number. So for the phone number, I'm going to keep it as this. And after entering all of these details, we are going to click on register. And as soon as we're going to click on register, you can see you have successfully registered. So yes, with this, we have successfully registered for the topic mastering digital marketing. And yes, with this, we have successfully did the test submission too. And now what will happen is that Zoom will send the details of our test submission to our workflow. So I'm going to open my workflow and check that if Pabbly has captured the response for the same or not. And yes, you can see that Pabbly has captured the response for the same. You can see all the details which we entered. You can see the same topic. We are going to move on forward. Over here you can see the phone number which we entered. Over here you can see the last name which we entered. Over here you can see the first name and the email which we entered. And over here you can also see the city which we entered. So yes, after getting all of these details as a response, with this we have successfully completed our trigger step. And after completing this, what has happened is that as soon as a new registration is made in my Zoom account, automatically Pabbly is going to capture the details for the same right over here too. And now with this, what we have done is we have successfully created a registrant too for our meeting, right? So I'm going to go on this registrants, and yes, you can see a new registrant created right away for the meeting with the same details too. And now what we're going to do is I want to add this registrant details right over here in my Notion, right? For that, I'm going to select my action application as Notion right over here. So I'm going to search for Notion right over here, and as you can see Notion, so we're going to select it. And as soon as we're going to select the action application, it is asking me for the action event. So basically we're going to select the action event as create database item, and then we're going to click on create. And as soon as we're going to click on create, once again it is asking me for the same. So if you have already connected your Notion account with your Pabbly's workflow, you can click on select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me again, click on add a new connection, and then you have to click on this button which says connect with Notion. And as soon as we're going to click on this button that says connect with Notion, over here you can see once again it is asking me for some permissions. So as you know that Pabbly is safe, so I'm going to select the pages for which I want to give the permission. Notion. So over here, as you can see, the name of my page is registration details. So I'm going to select the same registrant details, and then we're going to click on allow access. And as soon as we're going to click on allow access right over here, yes, you can see that we have successfully created a connection between our Notion and our Pabbly's workflow. Where you can see connected, and as you can see over here is my database, which is registrant details. We're going to move on forward. You can see the session topic, email, phone number, name. You can see that these are the same details which we have entered right over here, right in the columns. So yes, I'm going to enter the lead details right over here one by one, but we are not going to enter it manually, but instead we are going to map it. So you must be wondering what is mapping, right? So mapping is a method by Pabbly which means inserting the data from the previous step. And as you know, our previous step was the trigger step, where we selected Zoom triggers as our trigger application. So we're going to map the details from the response of our trigger application only. And as soon as we are going to map these details, automatically these details will turn dynamic and change with every new response received. So I'm going to give you an example that it is asking me for the session topic. So let's suppose I'm going to enter the session topic right over here manually by typing it like this. Then this will not change with every new response received because this is static information and I have entered it manually. But if you're going to map this from the previous response, suppose I'm going to open my previous response, you can see the session topic. So let's suppose we're going to map this from the previous response, then this will definitely change because my previous response will also change. So that's why we do mapping right over here to run our workflow in real time. We're going to do same for the email. I'm going to map the email right over here. I'm going to search for email, and as you can see the same, so we're going to map it. We're going to map the phone number too. I'm going to look for phone number, and as you can see the same, so we're going to map it. We're going to map the name right over here. I'm going to look for name, and as you can see the name, which is demo, which is the first name, we are going to put a space and then the last name. And after mapping all of these details, we are going to click on this button which says save and send as request. And as soon as we're going to click on this button, yes, you can see that we have received a positive response that we have successfully added the registrant details in our Notion database. So I'm going to open my Notion and check for the new details added, and yes, you can see a new detail have been added. You can see the name, you can see the email, you can see the phone number and the session topic. So yes, with this we have successfully created a connection between our Zoom and Notion. And now what we're going to do is I'm just going to test this workflow once, and this time I'm going to give you a real-time example. So in order to do the test submission, once again we are going to go on towards our Zoom. We are going to copy this registration link and open this. And after opening this, again we are going to do the test submission with the new details. So for the first name, I'm going to keep it as test this time. Last name as user only, email as test@pabblytunes.com. For the city, I'm going to keep it as Indore this time. So I'm going to enter Indore right over here. And then for the phone number, I'm going to keep it as this. I'm going to verify this right from here and then click on register. And as soon as we're going to click on register, it is saying you have been successfully registered. So yes, with this, we have successfully did another test submission. And now once again, Zoom has sent the details of our test submission to our workflow. Pabbly captured the response, triggered the workflow, and further added the details of the same registrant into our Notion. So what I'm going to do is I'm directly going to open my Notion account and check for the new registrant details added. And this time we are not going back to our workflow and clicking on save and send test request. I'll directly open my Notion right from here, and yes, you can see the new registrant details have been added. You can see the name, the email, the phone and the session topic which we selected, right? So yes, with this we have successfully completed our workflow. And now I'll just summarize this workflow for you once. So for the trigger application, we selected Zoom triggers. For the trigger event, we selected configure webhooks. For the action application, we selected Notion, and then for the action event, we selected create database item, because I wanted that as soon as we receive a new registration for a meeting, automatically the details of that registrant should be added right over here in my Notion database, so that we can keep the data organized and quickly follow up with the new leads. So yes, this was it for the video, and if you have any questions related to the video or the workflow, you can directly comment on this video. And for your reference, I'll just clone this workflow and share the workflow link in the description box so that you can access my workflow. I hope this video was helpful for you. Thank you for watching.
So not only these applications, but with the help of Pabbly Connect, you can integrate many more applications. So if you have any doubts, you can reach us at support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can reach us at forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, you can follow this website. And if you find our videos helpful, do like and subscribe our channel. Thank you for watching.